He trained while others slept, a story of discipline and dreams while the city slept. He was already awake. At 4:17 every morning, Marcus's alarm buzzed softly on the nightstand. He never hit snooze. Not because he was superhuman, but because he'd learned something early on. Discipline isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It just shows up again and again, even when no one is watching. Outside his small apartment in Cleveland, the streets were quiet. No traffic, no laughter, just the hum of distant street lights and the occasional siren cutting through the dark. Marcus laced up his worn running shoes, the same pair he'd patched twice with glue, and stepped into the cold. Winter mornings, bit hard, but he welcomed the sting. Pain reminded him he was moving forward. By day, Marcus worked at a warehouse loading trucks. The pay barely covered rent and groceries. His co-workers spent breaks scrolling their phones, joking about weekends, complaining about life. Marcus smiled along, but inside, his mind was somewhere else. He had a dream that didn't fit neatly into lunchroom conversations. He wanted to be a professional athlete, not a superstar overnight. Not a viral sensation, just the best version of himself, competing at a level most people only watched on TV. He knew the odds. He'd heard them all his life. Be realistic. People like us don't make it. You're too late. But Marcus also knew something else. Most people quit before the work even gets uncomfortable. So while others slept, he trained. After his morning run, he did bodyweight exercises in his living room. Push-ups, planks, squats counting, reps under his breath. No fancy equipment, no cheering crowd. Just sweat on the floor and a burning in his muscles that felt honest. At night, when his coworkers went out for drinks or collapsed in front of the TV, Marcus went back outside. He trained under flickering lights at an old community track, practicing drills he'd learned from free videos online. His breath formed clouds in the air. His legs screamed for rest. Some nights, Dow whispered louder than his footsteps. What if this is pointless? What if I'm wasting my life? What if I fail? He trained anyway. Discipline, he learned, isn't about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline is deciding once and then refusing to renegotiate with your excuses. Months passed, then years. Nothing magical happened at first. No sudden breakthroughs. No dramatic transformation montage. Just small, boring progress. His times improved by seconds. His form got cleaner. His recovery got faster. Tiny wins stacked quietly on top of each other. People didn't notice until one day. They did. At a local open competition, Marcus showed up with no expectations from anyone but himself. The stands were half full. The announcer mispronounced his name. His opponents wore sponsored gear and looked confident. When the event started, Marcus felt strangely calm. He had already won thousands of times in the dark, in the cold, in the mornings when quitting would have been easier. This was just another rep. He didn't dominate. He didn't embarrass anyone, but he placed high enough to raise eyebrows. Coaches asked questions. A few strangers clapped a little longer than polite. For the first time, the world echoed back a whisper of what he'd been telling himself for years. You might belong here. Opportunities followed slowly. A regional invite, better training advice. A mentor who saw not just talent, but work ethic. Marcus kept his routine the same. Same alarm. Same silence. Same hunger. Success didn't change him, it revealed him. Years later, when people asked how he did it, Marcus never talked about talent or luck. He talked about mornings, about choosing discomfort when comfort was available, about respecting his dream enough to work for it when no one was clapping. Most people want results, he'd say. Few people want the routine that creates them. The truth was simple and uncomfortable. While others slept, he trained. While others doubted, he showed up. While others waited, he worked. And one quiet morning, standing on a stage he once only imagined, Marcus understood something deeply. Dreams don't respond to words. They respond to discipline, and discipline, practiced daily, can take an ordinary life and turn it into something unforgettable.